Hello, this is Bebe from Planty of Fish. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to the Planty of Fish family, and I hope you find what you like here. As you can see, I'm sitting in front of my grow shelf for a change today in order to make this video, and I have footages throughout the past few weeks to include in this video, and there are some good and some bad updates. And without further ado, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Don't forget to hit subscribe and follow me on Instagram.
Are you ready for a little bit of depressive confession? In this case, we're talking about my inventory getting lost in transit. No trace left on the planet Earth. Did I almost give up? Absolutely. But did I pick myself up? I guess. So yeah, it's time for some depressive confession in the car.
All right, a little bit of a story time because we had a very rough start of this new year. If you also follow me on Instagram, you probably would have seen my recent post about restocking my online shop. And I was very excited about the new inventory that I finally received after a long wait. And as I was sorting through everything, I found out that a huge chunk of the inventory was missing. The particular part that I'm talking about here is self-watering pots, right? You have the insert and then you have the outside cash pot. I received the smallest size, all of them, but the medium size and the large size, and each size in 3 different colors. There are 80 cash pots that are missing right now. What that means is there are 80 inserts that came with those cash pots are no use. They're supposed to be in the set. So I contact the supplier. Seems like whatever happened during the shipping. And that sucks because if it's a shipping problem, then it's probably a missed package somewhere. I feel like whatever is missing probably fill one big box, so I think I'm missing one large box. I am very, very annoyed at that. Yes, you have to be mentally prepared to take risks, take certain losses at times if you want to start your own business. However, you don't expect that happen like this. I just didn't expect the first inventory restocking is gonna be like this. Currently my problem at hand is how do I deal with all of those clear insert that don't have cash pots. And then I have to stay positive because so far this year is only 7 or 8 days in, and I am not feeling it. And I don't like this. I know I am proud of the type of, fun personality I display in my videos, but the past 2 times, I know last time I was sick, but now I'm just like this chronic downer, and I don't want to be this person. So I need to pick myself up.
All right, so now you know what happened to the lost inventory, and there's some updates, and they are good updates. I was able to track down another supplier. So first let me catch you up on what happened with the original supplier. I talked to them, and unfortunately they're unable to let me order just the cash pots for those self-watering pots that I'm missing parts of. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. I have an example here. So these are the inserts of the self-watering pots. So these are the cash pots. So this is, I believe, the 5-inch pot. Yeah, the 5-inch self-watering pot in colored cream. So these are the cash pots, and these are, the inserts that, pair with that. And for each set, you also have one of these wick that goes right under the pot in a little hole.
Come on, what?
What do you think I'm talking about? I'm talking about the hole right here. It goes in, right? And because I'm missing a lot of those outer pots, then I only have those clear inserts left that I originally thought about, okay, maybe I'll just sell them as clear pots. However, the beauty of these pots are when they're in a set, and that's why I like them as a set. So I really didn't feel like doing that. Like I said, I reached out to the original supplier. They said that that's not something they do, just selling the cash pots. I understand that means they will be left with a lot of inserts. But luckily, I was able to locate another supplier that sell the same product, and they're willing to sell just the cash pots. And also what I found out is that they have a better deal for the whole sets as well. So I think in the future, even though this time was the whole inventory drama, the original supplier didn't do anything wrong, I think moving forward, I'm gonna stick with this new supplier because they have better deal to just you know, just worked out in my favor in the end. So I think everything happens for a reason. Anyway, so yeah, that's the update on that. Now I think damage control wise, we are doing pretty good. I'm not gonna be suffering loss anymore, I think, if I'm able to sell everything. I'm still not sure how long it's gonna take for me to move all the inventory, but this is, you know, kind of trial and error, and I will see how everything goes. And I do need to start taking photos of the products. I will be use photos from the supplier because they have some official photos they've taken for their products, and there's nothing wrong with those photos, so I will include those as well, but I will still take my own pictures for every single thing. Let me show you one thing I got for my shop in terms of photography. In this little bag, we have a photography backdrop set. Let me show you. This is what I'm gonna be using to take all of my product pictures. So you have this thing, which you can attach a piece of backdrop to the back using these clips in the corner. And then you can also have another piece of backdrop at the bottom. And I'm not showing them very well right now. And then you have these plastic piece, corner piece, and you plug it in here like that, so to support it, so it will stand up on its own. And each piece of these backdrops has two sides. Have two kind of, like this is kind of like a gray concrete type of texture, and this is just a, not solid black, like a black with some sort of texture on it. And you also have a lot of different solid colors to choose from. And then you have other kind of texture to choose from. So yeah, there are a lot of different backdrops that you can use, and I really think this is a great deal. I got this one on Amazon. I'll put the link in my description. I will try to link everything I use in or mention in this video. Just know that all the links I include from Amazon is going to be affiliated, and well, at this point, everybody knows what that means is I will make a teeny tiny little commission if you purchase through those links, but you can do your own little research and buy it wherever you want. But if you want to treat me to a little coffee or something, I wouldn't mind. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna put, oh yeah, there's another part of this photography set that is very, very cool. It comes with this two-piece of, what do I call, like a, I don't even know, it's like this two pieces, okay? So what it does is you can use them to create a shadow effect from the window. So you can just put these little leg pieces on there, either this way or this way, they will stand up on its own. And then you can shine a light source through it onto your product to create that effect. I will insert a picture of what the effect will look like. So there are two types of, okay, like a grid. Like there's this one that looks more like a window. And I think for product picture, this kind of photography set is very, very, very affordable, very useful, very practical. And I don't think I will need anything more than that. For plant size, I think most of the plants I sell, at least for now, are within the, you know, the size of that little, this little set. So I think we're good. I do have a little unboxing to do today, but that's like a tool thing. Can you believe this box? Like it's decently weighted. It's pretty heavy. My daughter picked it up from the front door and brought it inside.
What?
What kind of Hercules gene she has? All right, her dad is Greek. All right, so I'm gonna unbox this. This is a, what do I call it? I'm gonna use this as like a potting station, repot station. You know what? I'm just gonna do the magic was added so you can see the final product. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We're done. I'm not sure if you can see the whole thing here. That has 2 baskets and wheels at the bottom so I can easily move it around the room. And what I like about this one is the top has a flat surface that I can use for repotting. It's the next day and I'm doing some plant shelf care. And on this day, I'm just trying to water some of these pollinaria out of variegated little propagations I've been growing for the last couple months. At this point, all of them have taken roots very nicely and started to grow out new sets of leaves pretty consistently. And here is one example of those new leaves. I'm not worried about the fully white variegation here because pollinaria tend to do that when they start establishing a new plant, and the green will just come back in a few more sets of new leaves. This is where I leave the water level at. Sometimes I will turn the plant around inside the pot like this to make sure the new leaves will face the grow light. Here is another baby growth coming out of this propagation. This will be the first set of new growth coming out of this specific one. And this one has to be my favorite. I just love this variegation so much. I mean, you can't control what the variegation is going to look like. So when your propagation give you this kind of new leaves, it's going to be hard to sell this one. I'm going to be honest. Have one here that was rerooting in perlite. Need to put it back into one of those self-watering pot later today. We got a plant mail. Do not come for me for making plant purchase this early in the year already. We all know how that works, and we all know it's a disease that none of us want to cure, so let's dig into it. Right now, it's actually a very rare time of the day that I choose to film because of this random mail that just arrived. We have great west-facing window light coming through, and this is honestly the most beautiful hours in my bedroom from now till around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, let me crack this open. Yeah. I'm very excited about this plant mail because what's in it are some Hoyas on the more rare side that I decided to purchase as investment because I'm going to use them as mother plants for my plant shop in the future. They are still all on the smaller side, so I have to grow them out quite a bit before I can even do that. These are packaged in winter protection. I added extra money to make sure they arrive safe because one of the hardest things in winter is to ship live plants. Because even if the area, like where I live, temperature is not really that low, they're totally safe for plants to be shipped without winter packaging. But if the area you bought it from have temperature dip under 40 degrees Celsius, no, not Celsius, Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, it's like tropical. And then, you know, your plant can kind of run the risk of getting cold damage. Now you can see there are a few plants in here I'm just gonna grab whatever is the first one. This one, what does it say? Okay, yeah, it's packaged so nice with a little, advice here to say that keep your, this is a greenhouse grown plant, to keep it in 60 to 90% humidity initially and then have it adjust to your environment. And okay, it's taped with polyfill inside. I think it's one of those like 2-inch growers nursery pot. Oh, I think I know which one it is. Can you guess? It is a Hoya, not YIDI, Hoya Kentiana Lori Lynn. I tried to buy this plant as a 2-leaf cutting a while ago, but the 2-leaf cutting, even though it was shipped to me completely rooted, it didn't make it. I still have that poor little plant as a kind of like a dead stump in my greenhouse. I'm so stubborn, I refuse to throw it out. I'm thinking one day it's gonna sprout a new leaf, it's gonna come back alive. But, oh, okay, so this is the plant. Let me take off more packaging here. This plant. The color, this is what I like about this variegated version. I don't quite know scientifically how to distinguish Kentiana versus YIDI. I almost said it wrong at the beginning of this unboxing. I think it's mainly just the shape of them is slightly different. Additive baby, your turn. So after some research, I found out the biggest difference between these two Hoyas are actually the color of the flower stalks. So here are some image reference. You see here is red, that's Kentiana, and green is YIDI. All right, whatever she said. So here, let's continue opening this up. I have never had good luck keeping YIDI alive for some reason. I've had 2 opportunities to try out just a regular green form of YIDI, but both times they were dropping leaves as soon as they arrived in my care, and both plants died of rot. I tried to re-root them, but it was taking forever for the cuttings to root. My patience ran out and I gave up. Wow. So this is not only well established, but it's also in this deeper nursery pot. I do like these. That gives the roots more room to grow downwards. So my guess is this plant has a very, very mature root system. We love a good established plant, and it has new growth here. That's a new growth point, and right here, that's another new growth point. The seller did mention this is basically 2 plants in one, and I think they're right, 2 growth points. Yeah, very excited about this plant. The color is beautiful. It has the purplish pink margin on all the leaves, and then some of the leaves are more elbow variegated. I don't have a YIDI in my collection, so a Kentiana would do just fine. And yeah, so this plant's gonna come to my shop as one of the mother plants. I look forward to grow it out and start spreading the love. Next one. This next one looks like about the same size as the last one. I kind of have some idea what this one might be based on the size. No, I can't pull it out. I'll have to open up the package. All you can see here is polyfill. Or shall we peek in? Oh, I think I see what it is. I'm gonna let you have a peek. Do you see what it is? I think you already know. Well, we kind of already saw a little sneak peek, and this is the Hoya Matilde intervariegated. Oh my God, she is beautiful. I have been contemplating getting this beautiful Hoya for so long. Well, the reason I was contemplating was not that, oh, if I should get it or not. It's I know I want it, and I know I want to propagate it and sell it myself. It's the part I wasn't so certain was if I want to get it as a 2-leaf cutting or a more established plant. And in the end, I decided to take the plunge and got a slightly bigger plant. It is not like huge, but for Hoya Matilde, not splash, for Hoya Matilde and the variegated, this is considered pretty decent size to start with. And then once I grow it out, I'm gonna start propagate my own, and I am so excited about it. Just want to show you some close up. So here's one vine. It even has a very nice half moon leaf. And the variegation is very similar to the Gageana and the variegated. Let me show you side by side. But at the same time, they're still different enough for me to keep both. You can see the inner variegated, the variegation color, they're similar. But Gageana has a very thin green edge all over the plant. But Matilde has the green kind of extended more towards the center of the plant and center of the leaves, and also it varies quite a bit leaf to leaf. Their leaf shape is very different, and not very different, okay. To me, they are different enough, okay. For a lot of people, us plant crazy people are all like, you know, ridiculously justifying getting multiple plants when they look all the same to them, but to me, they're different. Yeah, it looks like she just has a pretty nice chunky mix in there, and they're pretty dry and the leaves are still firm. I don't even think I need to water them today. They can probably do without watering for a few more days, even up to a week, seems like. Yeah, they're very firm. I think I can even leave them for, I would say maybe 3 to 5 days, then I'll revisit, see if they need watering. But yeah, so cool, so exciting. Oh, is there any growth point? This one also has 2 vines. Oh yeah, there are growth right here. Can you see those tiny little things sticking out? Those are new growth. And I'm gonna be gentle. Yeah, there are even more new growth coming out. I'm just gonna leave it for now because in transit, a lot of time Hoya would drop their new growth, and this might still happen to it, but I don't think it's gonna be a big issue. They usually start growing again pretty quickly after. And I have 2 more plants here. Start with the smaller one. I think this is also another one of the similar size. This one probably is... Oh, I was wrong. Okay. So this is a plant that I don't hear people talk about nearly as much. Can you tell what it is already? Let me remove these because you have to see. So from the leaf shape, you can already tell, I suppose, it's a Hoya lacunosa, but this particular variegation is called Lacunosa asami. I don't know the background of it, but asami sounds like a Japanese name, but I'll look into the background of this plant. Editing baby, can you take over?
Sure, actually this Hoya is not Japanese at all, it's from Indonesia. And it has 2 varieties, Cologne 1 and Cologne 2, from 2 different regions in Indonesia. One of the version is unstable in variegation, but I don't know which one it is.
All right, so according to her, that's the case. I've been eyeing this variegated lacunosa for probably the past half year, and I just have never found a specimen that I like enough to place the order because they are not the cheapest. Ooh, yeah, this is a outer variegated plant, and all the variegation on the edge, they are creamy white with a hint of pink. I don't know if it's because of the sun stressing, but all the pictures I've seen online seem to have this pink. So my guess is pink is definitely the result of sun stressing, but I think this plant might sun stresses very easily. So it's essentially a outer variegated lacunosa with pink sun stressing. All right, so here she is, my very beautiful new Hoya lacunosa asami. And I think the asami has a few different variations. I don't know if the editing me already mentioned it. There's a Cologne 2 version. I have no idea about any of those. Maybe she explained, maybe she didn't. I hope she did. She better does her job, otherwise I'm gonna fire her. Right here, there are 2 tiny little leaves coming out. That's 1 growth point. There's 1 more growth point. Ooh, stop bouncing. 1 more growth point right here. That's 2. Is there any more? I think, oh yeah, 1 more. right here. 3. Did that focus? Yeah, that's as best I can do. 3 growth point. Oh, that one. This is actually also a growth point. You might not be able to see the leaves, but I can see that. So at least it has, wait, no, not 3, 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 growth point activated right now. There possibly are more in there, but I haven't looked at all of it. This plant feels slightly on the softer, the leaves feels on the softer side. I'm doing this taco test with Hoya leaves that you can do to check if your plants are thirsty. You see I'm gently squeezing the leaves. It's doing this thing without breaking the leaves. So yeah, and there's some wrinkles on it. Can you see that? Well, not very clear, but after I squeeze it, it looks slightly wrinkly. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and water this guy first. The last one, oh my God, is this plant really this big? Oh, this is a big plant. What? Okay, I didn't know this one is so big. I need to go pick up my daughter right after this. I have about like half an hour, maybe closer to 20 minutes left. So this plant is one I've seen online so... Sorry, I just got a little bit plantgasm there. This one I've been seeing online so much, and it's it's trendy right now. I didn't think I like it myself, but now that's what I say about every single trendy plant. Like, I don't see why people like it so much. It's overrated. And then suddenly one day I wake up like, I want that one too. What's happening to me? This is what happened with this guy. I'll give you a clue. It is a type of Hoya carnosa. Yeah, you might be able to guess already. And here's a peek. This is the Hoya carnosa Argentea Princess. They are pretty pricey still. Like 2 leaf cuttings can be sold to, like, I don't know what price. I'll put it right here. That's the price for 2 leaf cuttings. And I got a really big one. Oh my God. Okay, in the picture, I didn't think it was gonna be this big. I thought it was gonna be a much smaller pod. And I guess I just forgot that carnosa leaves are bigger. Well, this plant is definitely not just gonna be a mother plant. Okay, I need to explain a little bit. None of these plants are just gonna be the mother plant for my shop. They're also addition to my personal collection, because why not? They're gorgeous. Reason I mentioned that is I only purchase them at this size because I want to use them as the mother plant for my shop as well. Otherwise, usually with these kind of plants, I would just buy cuttings. I need to wrap her around a little bit to show you. Look. Oh, okay. This potting mix is pretty dry in this, so it's kind of like dropping bits everywhere. But leaves seems to be firm, so I don't think this guy needs watering either. So look at her and how beautiful she is. She is so beautiful. I've heard certain people commented online saying that they don't like this variegation because it looks sickly to them, but I do like it. I can see what they're talking about. Like, it almost looks like you have a film of white residue on it. Like you just sprayed your plant and then it dried up with all these white stuff on it. But I think it's pretty cool. And then people love this plant, and it is super trendy now. And almost every plant shop is selling this. So I want to do that too, especially when I like the variegation myself. So yeah. Here is the last plant. I am probably going to put it on a trellis. I found a trellis I want to use. I am almost out of small size trellises. I'm not going to get any batch shipped to me until probably next month. So this is the last one I have. And look at this huge bag of dragonfly clips. I don't really sell these because these are just so cheap. I bought it for personal use and also as free gifts in my shop. When people make orders, I will put in a few as a free gift to thank people for the support. It's already pretty, well, let's see how I want to put it. Okay. I will put it I think right here like that. Let's not damage anything. Okay. All right, you know what? I want to put this one in a different pot. But do I? Do I really? I am just gonna put it on this trellis for now and decide if I want to repot this possibly in a couple days, because I do want it to just rest. And yeah, with Hoyas, you want to trellis them counterclockwise from this perspective, from looking down like this. The vine needs to be counterclockwise, wrapping up the trellis. Not the most stable method, but it will do. Okay, little dragonfly. Certain Hoyas has thicker vines, so it's easier to use these clips. When it's a very thin vine Hoya, these clips kind of just slide down. I think 3 is enough. Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Beautiful. All right, I will see you in the next part of the video. Hello there. I don't know if you can tell, it's a new day. And oh, here's some daylight still. That's rare. So I want to take you here to my plant corner again, because we're going to continue doing some plant shop chores. And I don't know if you can tell here, I have a brand new setup here that I finally decided I'm gonna rip open the box and put it all together. So let me go ahead and show you with a more steady hand. All right, so here is actually a Christmas gift that I got from my sister-in-law, and it's a Barina grow shelf. It is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 level. Wait, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you add that top shelf there, it's 6 level. But I'm only using 5 of the shelves for growing plants, and the top one, because you know I don't have a grow light up there, I'm just using it to store shipping boxes for now. So yeah, here is my new Barina grow shelf for majority of the plants that I am gonna be selling or propagating. And then on the right here, there are those original shelves I got from Amazon. Again, linked in the description. These ones I use the other type of Barina light with. Let me get closer and show you what I'm talking about. So on the right side, I don't have any grow light because I have all of the this is some polyfill that I use for shipping plants, and the rest of it is all potting mix or potting media amendments for mixing stuff. Sphagnum moss, which is empty, I need a refill. This one says perlite, but actually it is a 50% Fluval plus 50% finer size, small size perlite. And underneath here, there are all these condensation, which is not good. I need to air these bins out. Here we go. This is my cacti and succulent mix. I don't use frequently because I'm not huge on succulents and cacti. And here, let me lower myself. These are the pumice that I use for making my DIY pond. And then underneath here is my favorite jumbo perlite. Can you see we are running low? I actually just ordered some and they have arrived. And I just need to put them into this. Don't really feel like opening a huge box of perlite right now because those dusts are just overwhelming. And here, yeah, cocoa chips and cocoa. You help me out. I've heard people say cocoa core. I've heard people say cocoa coir. Can you tell me how to pronounce this? Anyway, that thing, you know, the peat moss free mix, the base for potting mix. So these acrylic boxes on this black shelf are what I've been referring to as my greenhouse, my makeshift greenhouse. And oh, by the way, I'm so scatterbrained today. These are the Barina lights I'm talking about. And funny thing, if you don't know already, only the black ones are magnetic. So I didn't have to use anything to fasten it to the shelf here. They can just, you know, be placed like this. And Yeah, just like that. So I actually was able to put them at an angle like this, so it's actually pointing towards the plant. I have one in the front, one in the back for each level. So yeah, up there, two, all the way down. So in total, 8 of them. Oh, at the bottom here, we have a heating mat. So in here are all of my Alocasia corms, all different kinds of Alocasia corms. That's, ooh, there is something happening here. Yay, that's new. Yeah, so right here, this one is a pink dragon corm that has sprouted a while ago. And behind it is a silver dragon. And these ones next to it are, I believe, let me see, what are you? I'm glad I labeled all of them. But, ooh, this one doesn't have a label. What the, oh my God, they are kind of dry. So I believe, oh yeah, there's another pink dragon in the back, and I believe all the rest are just, yeah, the label fell out. The rest are just black velvet, I think. Yeah, I think they're black velvet. Anyway, I need to water these bins now because I recently added a heating mat to the Alocasia corms boxes, but that's making the water evaporate so much faster. So I need to replenish the humidity in there a lot more frequently now. And on the right side, in the back are some really juicy corms. Can you see the size of them? And I actually just recently put these in, and they're already kind of sprouting. This is the magic of heating mat, I think. And those huge ones right here are the dragon scale corms. And the ones next to it are from my huge purpley. That plant arrived with 4 juicy corms. And these 3 are my newly acquired mystery corms. I mean, it's not a mystery to me what they are, but it's gonna remain a mystery to you guys until the end of the video. I am gonna reveal what they are at the end of the video if you stay. Ha 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 ha, I played a trick on you. Well, I'm sorry if that offends you. Anyway, so yeah, it is definitely an exciting plant that I consider myself scored on Facebook Marketplace. It's a really nice place to find rare-ish plant. And up here, there is another one that's kind of, oh my God, all these condensation. Okay, steady hand. So this one here is a pink bambino. And I got this from Facebook Marketplace as well. And this plant was actually a acclimated tissue culture. So somebody bought a bunch of tissue culture online, and then they acclimated all the plants in their home to, this woman told me this one has been acclimated to cabinet condition, so still higher humidity. That's why I'm keeping it in my greenhouse acrylic box for now. And then I intend to slowly acclimate it to my bedroom condition, which is around 60% humidity for that corner. But so far, I'm gonna leave it be for a while, let it grow bigger because the leaves are teeny tiny. I'm gonna try to put, oh my God, try to put my hand next to it, as now you can see it's really small. But since it's been in my care, I think it's been about a week, it's doing well. It hasn't dropped any leaves or has any sign of decline, so I'm pretty happy about that. Speaking of tissue culture, I did place an order on Etsy. I know it's a little risky to buy tissue culture from Etsy, but because of this plant, it sparked my interest in tissue culture and I placed an order. I'm gonna keep that one actually as a secret for now to review it much later in another video when I unbox those tissue culture plants. Yeah, so that's that. Here are my fried eggs, they're still growing. And I eventually will acclimate these back to my regular grow shelf condition before I sell them. And then here are the propagations. I have some Mandula pothos propagation. In the bag, I have the oh my God, Referador, oh my God, Tetrasperma? Yeah, the variegated one. So I have the mini Monstera, which is not a Monstera, variegated one. They are also propagating and rooting in sphagnum moss. And here, do you remember that tortum? Here, there it is. That tortum is struggling again, so I decided to reroot it because it's showing sign of root rot again. I really don't understand, but I have good news. I have good news, okay? Do you see this? Focus, oh my God. Do you see that? There is a juicy big fat root coming out of that side. So it is rooting. We have hope. So I'm just gonna reroot this whole plant and have it grow again from scratch because I lost all the other leaves, including this big one. This is the only one that's green left, and I lost a new growth. I feel so much shame when I talk about it because I was talking so much about how I repotted this plant, trying to do it right this time in my previous video, but here we are again on the 5th Torden and who's again struggling on its deathbed. I think there is a new growth coming, however, somehow when I'm still rooting it. The last new growth you saw in the video, it never opened, it dried up and fell off. So I don't know what's with the Tordems, they don't like me. Oh, I like them. And this one in the front is a rescue. So remember I mentioned that I saw these Alchoco Red in Lowe's. I went back another day to look for something else, I think a garden stake or something, and I saw a few more left on the shelf and they're on the clearance section. And this one particularly was really sad. It had more leaves. It had, I think, 2 more bigger leaves. I knew at the time already those 2 leaves are on their way out. I should have taken the picture. But yeah, I got it and I was thinking, you know, I'm gonna give it a chance, see if I can rescue this plant. So right now it's, again, rerooting in sphagnum moss. It has since, even in its struggle time, tried so hard to push out this new leaf and then let go of the older ones. So we will see how this goes. So that's pretty much what we have now. In the back, do you see this? That's a stump. A stump of a certain anthurium, trying to see if it's still gonna come back to life. There is a growth, so we have hope. But next to it are just a bunch of water propagations. Like a lot going on right now. And the next thing we're gonna do is, we definitely need to pot up all these Alocasia, Gageana, Aurea. They've been in perlite for so long and they're just drying out way too fast with perlite, so I'm gonna pot them into soil today. We have 7 of these, but one of them might be a goner. This one has full yellow leaves. It's not, you know, the same kind of yellow leaf we're talking about when we say, oh, the leaves are yellowing. It's basically 2 fully variegated leaves on these Aurea variegation. It could still grow fine after a few more leaves if it does grow a few more leaves. But at this point, I think I'm gonna discard this plant. Look at the leaf, it's starting to brown. Yeah, it's just taking up space. I don't think it's gonna do much. So, sorry. Feel sad doing that because it does have some pretty decent roots. However, with not much chlorophyll as I'm still kind of hesitant. I've got enough of this plant, so I can say bye to that. Next one, I'm gonna pick a pretty one. About this. This one has a pretty evenly distributed variegation and it has new leaf coming in too, so we're gonna pot up this little guy. I am going to be using, what size pot should I be using? The roots are still very small. So, like this is a 2-inch pot. Would that be enough for now? I think it might be, because 3-inch would be, yeah, 3 inches is way too big. Chunky mix. And almost killed the plant. Okay, here's the baby plant number 1. Yeah, I'm just gonna grow these Alocasias in soil. The Gageana are not typically very hard to grow, so I don't think pon is necessary. And also, it's easier to ship them like this instead of having to ship them with pon or bare roots. I don't like shipping plants bare roots. These baby plants are just so cute. Look at that. It's ready to go into the shelf and grow. So I'm gonna put it on the side and water them in when I'm done with all of them. Okay, so now let's hit the speed button. Hello. So currently it's almost 11 o'clock at night. I just managed to put my son down to sleep. He actually got sick again and has spiked a fever. It was not something I could have planned, so kind of, the schedule went out of the window again. I know we've been talking about everybody getting sick over and over ever since the Christmas, but I believe it's not unusual for this to happen, and I've been hearing, oops, my grow shelf light just went out. Hold on one second. I kind of want to turn it back on. I am going to control it from here. It's really cool. I swear I didn't even plan to talk about this smart plug. I used the Govee smart plug, and you have this interface here that you can switch the light on and off. So I'll do the Barina grow shelf on, off, on. Oh, the light color changes every time, so now it's kind of purple. Yeah, it turns sort of this pink light, and then turn it off, on again, it's yellow, off and on again, then it's this combination of the two colors. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. I think I mentioned maybe 2 videos ago that we just recovered from being sick, and now my son has a fever again. Yeah, long story short, things got pretty rough because of that. And that is why you saw me filming all those stuff, and all of a sudden it's 11 o'clock at night and I'm wearing my robe and sitting here at my plant corner. Anyway, let me take you to my plant shop again. Here we go. So these are the Alocasias I potted up earlier. Yeah, 6 of them, and I hope to see them grow. And once they grow to a decent size, I'm gonna list them on my shelf. I don't know if I've ever really gone through what I have in my shop currently. I haven't listed anything yet. I'm preparing to list them soon, so I'll just quickly go through some of them here. I have a few Hoya Fitchii. I think these are I actually also just potted these up today. I have these 3-inch pots that I sort of showed you a little bit earlier. I have 3 of them, and I have just, oops, focus, in this corner some Hoya Mathilde. I don't know if I'm gonna feel comfortable listing these as Mathilde Splash. I probably just list them as normal Mathilde and mention they're lightly splashed, yeah. And in the back, I have a few Royal Flush, the Lacunosa Royal Flush. And on this side, there is one 4-inch Polynera. And on this side is one of my favorite things that I'm growing currently are all the Hoya Polynera albomarginata. And they are all growing in pond, and I labeled all of these self-watering pot. When I sell these, I'm gonna sell them with the self-watering pot. And then, yeah, currently most of these cuttings have already established like 3 sets of leaves. One is the original leaves, and then has pushed out 2 new sets of leaves. And I think I'm gonna let these grow longer before I sell them, because most of the time you find rooted or unrooted cuttings. I want to be able to put something a little bigger than that on there. And underneath, we have more Hoyas. Here are just some Hoya Shepherdii that are still in perlite in brooding. I haven't touched them in a while. One thing I don't like about having them in perlite rooting underneath the grow light is they dry up so quickly, but I do like rooting Shepherdii in perlite better than water. I have actually one more up here. There is a glass vessel here that has some Shepherdii cuttings rooting in water too. I find the perlite rooting method is I have better success with that. Okay, so coming back here, there are a few 3 pots of these Hoya, I think they're called latifolia now. They used to be called microphylla. They have been renamed to Hoya latifolia now, and this is the inner variegated one, the pot of gold, and 2 of them are the outer variegated one. These are growing so slow. All of these were cuttings from my plant. I don't have these mother plants anymore, and I'm not gonna go into detail. I just sold them because the way they were growing just were not something I'm into anymore. I want them to be trailing, but these stems are very stiff, and these plants, in my opinion, definitely better for trellis, but I have enough trellis Hoya, so I let go of these. And but I kept a few of these cuttings. Originally, I was just gonna keep the cutting and try to grow them again myself to have them, I don't know, like grow in a way I like, to style them as they grow, but I just kind of gave up and like, I'm over this plant, both of these, so I'm gonna just try to sell them when they start pushing on new growth. They are all rooted, however, so far nothing is happening. Yeah, it's not even focusing anyway. Nothing is happening. I feel like they're just so slow to show any sign of growth. Next to this, I do have one single dragon's breath plantlet and 3 Alocasia scalprum. The only one I think I'm comfortable selling down the road is this one. That one looks okay, but this might be done. Like yeah, I don't even know if this plant is still good. It just kept on yellowing. There were a few other little leaves before this one. They kept on falling. I don't think this plant is good anymore. And this guy here is sort of doing the same thing with the leaf, but there is a new growth. I might need to water them later, but yeah, I do see water condensation, so maybe it's fine. But yeah, I'll wait and see, and then decide if I'm comfortable enough to sell them. Underneath here, I have a bunch of Syngonium 3 Kings. I really like this this plant and this variety. I don't have that many Syngoniums anymore. I used to have the very common one, the white butterfly. I don't anymore. And I have I have the elbow I unboxed earlier in this video. And then I have a 3 King myself, and these are just a little plantlet. I potted up here. So here I have, how many? 1, 2 white wizard little pot. But this one, oh yeah, this is the one plant here. This is the other one that has a very weirdly shaped stem. I will wait for this leaf to come out first because I don't like what happened on this leaf. I don't know if it got burned or something touched it when it was unfurling, but you all know with philodendron, when the new leaf gets stuck, it can get very bad cosmetic damage. So yeah, there's that. And oh yeah, here are my potting mix, the chunky mix and the pond. So I have some Adansonii. This leaf needs to go. Yeah, there are, other than that, the rest of them are looking good. I think I have like 1, 2, wait, is it just 2? 1, sorry, 1 second. 1, 2, yeah, I only have, wait, no, this is 1. Sorry, I was looking for the third one. 1, 2, 3. 3 of the Adansonii, and all 3 of them are actively growing. They're all from my own plant, from cuttings. I used to have a moss pole. That was my very first and only moss pole at the time. And then all of these leaves grew on that moss pole. I cut it up and made all these smaller pots with them in the end. I still have the Adansonii, but it's a much smaller one. Since we're here, let me show you real quick. So that's what I kept for myself. That's it. I might move this one into my bedroom as well. And yeah, there's nothing much to say about it. I think I just got tired of growing this plant, particularly on moss pole, and I want to start growing it trailing again. I think I'm gonna end the video here. Oh yeah, my husband got this mug from Greece. It's very cool. If you notice, sometimes my video has a lot of random footage put together. Like, even though I try my best to give each video a cohesive sort of theme, sometimes it still feels like random footage thrown together. Well, I realized the reason it happens is because in a lot of Planty Chore videos that other YouTubers post, they are doing those chores most of the time in one day, or at least a shorter amount of time, and they have a list usually, and they're checking those lists off, saying, oh, these are the plant chores I want to tackle today, and they just sit down and start doing that. Unfortunately, currently in my life, I don't really have that luxury to do it. I have to do these plant chore videos with footage I manage to take throughout a whole week or sometimes couple weeks, just whenever I get a little bit of time to film. Therefore, you might see me jumping from different rooms, wearing totally different things, or talking differently in different mood, and that's because I am doing my best to keep this channel alive. So I hope things will start to get smoother the more video I make, and I'm still trying to figure out what's my style and what's the flow of my channel. Regardless of how hectic sometimes things are, I am definitely enjoying the process a lot. Every single week, even on weeks like this where I'm like, God, I'm not gonna have a video to post, I'm still like, I'm so grateful that I have this channel and able to, I don't know, share this passion with so many people online. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button because I want to see you back here again. Or during this very sickly season, I want to say stay healthy and keep planting. I'll see you next time. Bye.